What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm in Farming Simulator 15. So you can see we're down here at Chad's. We had to pick up our subsoiler that I ordered a few days ago and just didn't have a chance to get down to get. But today I have the time, and we're going to go subsoil the OEB meadow, and then we're going to spread manure on it, and then we're going to plow it. Again, this is keeping up with the, however many episodes is a day format. It's the same day as it was the last time you guys are with me. It's Sunday. The church bells just stopped ringing to call everybody to church. Of course, I'm not going to church. I'm going to work. This is stuff that I need to get done, and today's a good day to do it. Again, trying to keep up with the one, not one episode per day anymore, like I was doing before, because everything was just going too fast. So we're going to go down the OEB meadow. We're going to subsoil it, which will probably have no effect in the game. But, for the story and for realism's sake, you would do this. These meadows are very old. They've been meadows for a very long time. The roots and the soil are very compacted, very bunched up, and it needs to be broken up, so the plow doesn't have to work quite so hard. I do have everything set up. I have the cloths with the manure spreader already filled up and everything. I used the time while the church bells were ringing to do that because the church bells, while very cool, are a little difficult to sort of talk over. So, but yeah, so the cloths is hooked up to the manure spreader, and the big case is hooked up to the plow. So, I guess we might as well start right here. This will probably be a little willy-nilly, as it were, just for the fact that, it's not actually doing anything as far as the game goes, It's just more of a story thing. This needs to be done, though, so that we can break it all up and get everything loose so that the plow doesn't have to work quite so hard. I think I go a bit faster than that, though. The case doesn't have any problem with this. The Puma, plenty of horsepower in this tractor, so... I mean, you can feel it. You can definitely feel the sort of resistance that the subsoiler's putting up, but there's a lot of different versions of these subsoilers. This one was written to be a cultivator, so it doesn't actually do anything with this multi-layer grass I have. It doesn't tear the grass down or anything. Plus, the grass is already at first stage anyway because we just cut it, and it's the same day. It hasn't had a chance to grow or anything. But since Chad suggested that I do this, I decided that I'd better listen to him. And pick up a subsoiler and get this ground loosened up under the ground, before I start running a plow over it. What I wanted to talk about during this episode, it really isn't story-driven, although it is in a way. I want to talk about OEB. You guys know, that you guys that follow the channel regularly, you guys know I am a huge OEB fan, right? I use a lot of OEB stuff. Obviously, I'm on an OEB map, even though I have altered this map quite a bit to suit the story, to suit my way of farming, to suit my way of playing. It is still fundamentally an OEB map. They created it. They made everything you see. All I did was add a few things, take a few things away, change a couple of small things. I never wanted to alter the feel of the map because this map has an incredible feel. From the minute I set foot on this map, I felt like I was home, hence why we're now at 118 episodes and counting on this map. The weight on the front of this is from OEB, works perfect. I don't have any issues with it. I know David Oldfield has said that he thought maybe his issues with the Massey, the Bullet Bill Massey pack, were caused maybe not by the Masseys, but by the weight. I can say for me, from my own experience, that I have never had an issue with the weight. The only small glitch that I've ever had with the weight is that sometimes it doesn't remember, if you disconnect it, it doesn't remember how much weight was on it when you reconnect it. That's not a big deal to me. I don't care. You know what I mean? As long as it functions as a weight, which it does, it works, it looks good, it gets dirty, it's done very well, as all OEB mods are. I use the OEB Cedar pack in this because A, it's done well, it was edited correctly, it looks good, it does what it's supposed to do. I did use the OEB animal trailer for a long time on this map. The only reason I switched away from it was because I wanted something a little bigger and something a little different, but it's an excellent mod. Real terrain, which in my belief should have won the mod contest, Not that the B&M Crone Baler isn't awesome, because it really is, but, Real Terrain is such a great script, and of course I'm a little biased because, again, I'm a huge OEB fanboy. What else do I have? Well, I've used pretty much everything from OEB. In Farming Simulator 13, I played on an OEB map for quite a while. Never made videos on it, but I wasn't really making a lot of videos back then anyway. So it was just, a personal save, personal map that I really enjoyed playing on. Was MR, had soil mod and everything in it, and I really, really enjoyed it. One thing I wanted to, I'm sure you guys are all aware of what has happened between OEB and FSUK. Now, that is none of my business. I am not a member of OEB. I am not a, staff member at FSUK. I have no sort of control or say over what goes on with any of that stuff. And that's fine, and I certainly don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to stir up trouble. I don't want to cause a bunch of drama where there doesn't need to be any. But I do want to show my support for OEB. David Oldfield and Enzo specifically have always been good to me. Enzo has been endlessly helpful with me about things. He's been very cool about saying, hey, great job on Old Ridge and all this other stuff. He's never given me any problems about editing his map and all that. He's been awesome. David Oldfield's always been helpful. I consider David and Enzo friends. The other guys I don't know as well, but they make great mods. They're a great team. Whatever happened between them and FSUK, it is what it is, right? Situations change. FSUK is looking to go in a different direction or whatever, and maybe OEB in their mind doesn't fit that direction. From what I've read, it seemed like maybe somebody in OEB was rude or non-helpful or whatever. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to make a lot of enemies by saying this, but let's be honest, guys. FSUK is probably the first site that when you buy Farming Simulator, when you start to play Farming Simulator and you Google Farming Simulator mods, FSUK is probably the first or second site that's going to pop up, right? I spend a lot of time on FSUK. I have downloaded thousands and thousands of mods from FSUK. I have always said this, I continue to say this, FSUK is a great place to get mods that are going to work because they test them. Now, in the last few months or maybe year, things at FSUK have not been maybe as ideal as they used to be. I know they've gone through some administration changes. They've lost some modding partners. They've gained some modding partners. And again, things change. Things, nothing is ever going to stay the same forever. It's just not how it works. But I wonder if FSUK is not moving in a direction that's not conducive to what they are. You know what I mean? If you have ever gone to the FSUK forums and asked a question, and I'm only going to use myself as the example here because I don't know anybody else's experience. I know mine. I know when I first started to get into map editing and map, maybe creation and stuff, I would go to the forums and I would use the search box, as they always tell you to do, right? To look up certain things, like how do I move a cow zone? How do I import an object? Because in the beginning, I didn't know any of this, right? Well, the search box is great, except that it generally, in my experience, will bring you to a topic that is either blank or is either, has the words in it, use the search box, which is just where you came from, right? Or it'll be a 45-page snark fest with everybody going, oh, if you don't know how to do that, then blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say this regardless of how many enemies it makes me. FSUK is not the most helpful site in the world. If you just want to download functioning mods that are going to work and probably aren't going to cause you too many problems, then that's the place to go. If you want to ask a question, it isn't, at least in my experience. Now, you guys all know how I am with my friends. You probably remember the rant video that I put out after Sean Blaylock, my good friend Sean Blaylock, decided he wasn't going to make videos anymore because somebody was trolling his channel, right? And I made a rant video and lost it and called out the guy who trolled him and everything else. I am not going to do that with FSUK for two reasons. One is OEB does not seem to be all that bothered by it, you know what I mean? From what I understand, they don't seem to be too tore up about it, which is great. They have announced that they're going to continue. They're going to remain a modding team. They're going to release new mods when they get them done and get them tested to their standards, which, as everybody knows, their standards are incredibly high, which is why they don't release mods every day. You know what? I'm okay with that. I much prefer the fact that OEB gets their stuff done, gets it done right, and then releases it. That's always been my strong point with OEB. So I'm not going to go off on FSUK. I've said what I wanted to say about FSUK, and that's it. And of course, these are my opinions. You are fully allowed and encouraged to form your own. If you like FSUK, if you find them helpful, if you're maybe friends with somebody who helps run FSUK or whatever, great. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to FSUK. I'm just saying, for me, my experiences on FSUK have not been particularly positive, with the exception of one or two, and of downloading mods, which I will continue to say they are still the place to download safe, functioning, tested mods. Now, the real meat of this thing I want to talk about is what OEB means to me. Now, you guys know that, and I've said this over and over and over again, the thing that got me making videos, well, the thing that got me playing Farming Simulator was Stocko Gloss. I happened to be watching YouTube one day, and it was in my recommended things. You know, when you log on to YouTube and you get that little list of recommended videos that YouTube thinks you should watch. And one of them was Stocko Gloss playing Farming Simulator. Now, I don't talk about Stocko Gloss a lot, but he is the guy who got me into playing Farming Simulator. He is the first person I watched videos of Farming Simulator, and I was like, wow, that looks like a fun game. So I went out and bought Farming Simulator, started to play it, and started to watch more videos. And as you guys know, the person who got me into making videos was TCGG Rob, because Rob, who is a good friend of mine, made making videos of Farming Simulator look like a lot of fun. Never once did I watch a TCGG Rob video and think to myself, he's just mailing that in. You know what I mean? He never made it seem like it was about the money. He never made it seem like he wasn't having fun. You know, he doesn't make as many videos as he used to, but he's busy. You know, he's got a job and everything else, and he's got a real life, right? But he's the guy who got me into making videos. Now, there are certain groups of people who made Bipolar Profit Gaming what it is. One of them, probably the biggest one, is the Scottish Gaming Guy. You know what I mean? The Scottish Gaming Guy. Not only is Grant my friend, he's a great YouTuber. He's a great guy to play multiplayer with. Without the Scottish Gaming Guy, without Grant, there would be no Bipolar Profit Gaming in the form that it is in now. TCGG Rob created it. Well, I created it. He inspired it. The SGG, my very close friend Grant, helped it evolve into what it became. And then the third member of that would be James R.W. Powell. And I know everybody has an opinion about Jim, you know. I've always thought Jim was a decent guy. You know what I mean? He's helped me out immensely. He's been a good friend to me. Without him, Bipolar Profit Gaming wouldn't have become what it is becoming now. The fourth part of that equation is OEB. Let's face it, my channel is built on Farming Sim. Without a doubt, Farming Sim is the number one thing on my channel, right? I do play other games, I do put up other things, but overwhelmingly, the most viewed stuff on my channel is, as I drive into this tree, is Farming Sim. And by a fairly large margin, the most viewed Farming Sim on my channel is the Old Ridge series. Now, you guys all know, I don't do this for views. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for anything except for the fact that I love playing Farming Sim. I love making videos thanks to TCGG Rob, and I love sharing them with you guys. And I love the fact that you guys enjoy watching them. Bipolar Profit Gaming would not be what it is today without OEB, because without OEB, there would be no Old Ridge. There would be no long-running role-play series of Old Ridge that not only me, but Mike and all of our viewers and our friends enjoy so much. OEB is an integral part of Bipolar Profit Gaming. Now, they're not associated with me. We're not a team or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that without OEB, there would be no BPG. It's that simple. Or at least none in this form. Those four groups of people, TCGG Rob, my friend the Scottish Gaming Guy, my friend James R.W. Powell, and the guys from OEB are the genesis, the sort of chrysalis, if you would, that Bipolar Profit Gaming climbed out and became the big monkey with the butterfly wings that it is today. And I know these guys watch the videos, and I want to say thank you so very much to each and every one of you. I want to offer my support to OEB in any way I can. Obviously there's not much I can do. I'm not a modder. They don't need my help with anything. But I want to say, thank you so very much for all your incredible mods. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your help to the community, especially David Oldfield, who has never been shy about showing us how to do stuff. He is one of the few people that I know that will go out of his way to make videos to say, this is how you do this. This is what you do. This is how you make a mod. You know what I mean? Modding is a black art for most people. I know it is for me. Every time I try to do anything that's not map related, I screw it up, even if I follow David's tutorials, because I'm just not of that mindset. You know what I mean? His tutorials are amazing. And if I put the time into them, I probably could do the stuff he does. But you know what? I'm just happy watching him do it. OEB is a class act, without a doubt, without fail. I offer them my full support, you know what I mean? And I think that if you're active in the farming simulator community, if you're active as a member of the farm sim community, whether you just send a big thank you and a massive shout out to OEB for being some of the good guys. Now there's a lot, must be, something must have had to just load up there. Single modders, and OEB is one of them, But they're the ones I have the most experience with. They're the ones who I consider my friends. And I want to offer them my support, and I want to say thank you. Because, again, without OEB, their Bipolar Profit Gaming wouldn't be what it is today. And thank you so very much. Okay. 16 minutes of that. I wanted to make sure that, people knew where I stood, how I feel, and all that other stuff. So, now we're done with the subsoiling, which of course, again, does nothing in the game, but it's cool. It's fun to do. So you may notice that I don't have my emergency brake sounds anymore. I need to put them back in. I upgraded to or updated to the newest version of drive control, so I have to put the sounds back in, but not a big deal. I'll get around to it, I'm sure. Also, there was an update to this, too, to the Unimog. I'm not 100% certain what changed on it. I did read the changelog. There's a couple of things, I think, that changed about it. Some texture changes and things. So this is and it's now fitted for the dynamic hoses, which is very cool, Not that I ever really use it as a tractor anymore, but it's cool that it's there. So they're probably on the back, too. Yep, they're on the back, too, so... very, very neat, It's cool that this mod's been around for a long time, and they're still updating it, which I think is awesome. So anyway, let's go over here to the class, grab that, get some muck down, and then we'll get plowing. It's still only 20 past 10 in the morning, still got a long day here. Oh, am I having the broken wheel issue? I am. Oh, no. Do I have to get the class guys out here? To fix my wheels? It looks like I got a broken wheel here. Oh, boy, I better... Now, it's Sunday. There's no way. There's no way I'm going to get somebody out here on Sunday. I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow. Call Chad. Have Chad call the class guys and send the class guys out here to look at this. Ugh. That's not good. Now, do I dare spread muck with this? No, I better not. I'd better not. I better disconnect this. This is why you buy a service plan on your tractors. Oh. I'd heard that this was kind of an issue. It's the occasional issue. You want to slow down, BP, with a bent front axle? That there was the occasional issue with axles on these things. So, oh, that's not good at all. Yeah, look at the camber on that bad boy. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's leaning in. It's got to be bent. The hub's got to be bent, or the axle's got to be bent. Ugh, that's not good at all. Okay, well, we gotta move it anyway. I'll call Chad on Monday and have him call the class guys and have them come out and take a look at it. Not much else I can do for right now. Put it here for now, and we'll use the case, the always reliable and without a doubt probably. The two cases are easily my favorite tractors, certainly. Cut that off. Well, probably help if I started it, huh? Grab the manure spreader. Go over and spread manure on the OEB meadow. and then get the case, which is up at the main farm, hooked up to the plow, and we'll go plow. So kind of got to do this all myself because the guys, I usually tend to give the guys Sundays off. So now I've got a new version of the raise the rear linkage too. Yep, that's what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to take the rear 3-point's supposed to disappear when you have a PTO attached to it, through a trailer. So at least I think that's what's supposed to happen. I seem to remember that being the what I read in the change log of the latest version of this mod. It doesn't do it on mod tractors, only on the default stuff, which makes me think that the default stuff has a different rotational value for those arms in the vehicle XML as opposed to mod tractors. So oh, that stinks about the case. I wonder if it's been like that for a while and I just haven't noticed it. Now, the service plan, that's a good thing, right? I'm glad I have it, but it's still going to cost me money in parts if something is broken and not maybe a flaw. And of course, I haven't heard any recalls about it, so I don't really know what the story is with it. I'm going to turn this up a little bit, probably not that much. Turn this on, and off we go. We are actually spreading, correct? Yes, we are. Now, up here, I'm only going to do the parts that I've cut. I'm not going to bother trying to plow up near these rocks. I'm not tearing up a plow by dragging it across one of these boulders. So, but as it flattens out down here, I will do, I will get a little closer to the edge. Just so that the sort of transitional grass between the part that I cut and the part that I don't is as, healthy as possible. It's good to be spreading muck. I've got so much of it. For once I actually have enough muck and don't have to worry about running out when I need to spread it. So I am giving some thought to getting a bigger muck spreader, though. Not this season. Probably next season I'll get one. This one's a little small. It holds quite a bit, but it was good for a while. But now I think if I'm going to, again, I don't know. I was just going to say I got to do all these meadows, right? And it wouldn't be bad to have a bigger one. I suppose I could pick up another one and maybe have this operation going on simultaneously on 2 meadows when the time comes, I suppose. I suppose we could do that. That may not be a bad idea. I wonder how many times I'm going to have to go back and fill this up. I thought about bringing a trailer load of it down and parking it somewhere, but the problem with this meadow is there's no real place to do that. So it's only around the corner to the dairy yard anyway, so. Probably two loads, I guess, by the way things are looking. So it's only the bottom part of the meadow that's wide. The top part is only 2 runs. So that works out perfect because I'll run out on the way back up to the entrance. So perfect. Yep, very good, very good. All right, we'll go refill it again, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it off, and then we can start plowing it. Plowing it's going to take a little while, but that's okay. It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday morning. It's kind of quiet, and it's a relaxing thing to do. So this may be a fairly long episode, but I don't mind. Conestoga. What? I know. He just spurts out Conestoga, right? BP, what are you talking about? Conestoga is the map in Farming Simulator 13 that I spent a massive amount of time on. Idaho was the first map I ever made videos on. Or was it? Nope, I'm sorry. Hagenstad was the first map I ever made videos on. Then I did my little sort of role play, always in character series on Idaho. And then I was playing on Conestoga off screen, and that was an OEB map. It was more realistic. It was had soil mod installed, It was fantastic. I love that map. I spent probably 150 hours on that map. It was absolutely great. So, and I just remember the name of it. And I've been trying to remember the name of that map for a long time, too, because I was talking about it to somebody else, and I'm like, I can't remember the name of the map, but I know I liked it. It was Conestoga. Where are you going to put this where it's going to be completely in the way, BP? Right about there-ish, I think? Yeah, that should be fairly in the way, right? Set that, jump back out, fill this up again. Run through the hedge. Got about half a bucket in there now, so might as well get rid of that. I'm taking it out of this pit as opposed to the big pile over there, because I would have had to move this at some point anyway, so I figured just take it out of here. Nope, easy. Jeez, you didn't leave yourself much room here, BP, to get around this thing. Or no room at all, in this case, as I'm hooked on it. How am I going to do this? What's going to make the most sense? Well, I'm going to have to... Yeah, I guess that'll work. Well, no, it won't. I don't know why I left this manure spreader right there. It doesn't make any sense, huh? You were just talking about a relaxing Sunday, and then you go and make your job twice as hard as it needs to be. I still love the sound. The sound of the muck hitting the trailer. I just think that's a neat sound. I'm glad they added that, you know. It's one of those little things that you may not even notice, you know. I know I didn't notice it right away either. But once you do, you're like, that is so cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what little things they're going to add in Farming Simulator 17 to, you know, make it sort of stand out, make it different from Farm Sim 15. I'm sure there'll be the one thing that we all go, wow, you know. There's always the one thing, right? You know, in Farming Simulator 15, for me, it was dirt. You know, wow, the dirt, and the dirt looks good. Now, you know, I've said this a bunch of times too. Some dynamic dirt that maybe changed colors depending on what you were doing would be cool. But again, that's just layers and layers and layers of texture that not everybody's computer is going to be happy running, right? And I understand that. So the fact that they added dirt and the way they added it is very cool. And that was the wow thing for me. I'll be curious to see what the wow thing is in Farm Sim 17. You know, are we going to get... I doubt we get dynamic terrain, you know, but maybe do we get puddles? Do we get different animal stuff, you know, different ways of dealing with animals, different ways of feeding animals, different ways of, you know, maintaining and caring for animals? I don't know. I hope so. That would be really cool for me, obviously, being the big animal farmer that I am. So, and I can almost guarantee you that I am going to try to figure out how to convert maps, and I will be playing Old Ridge Farm in Farm Sim 17. Where's this going? It's not going in the trailer. Really, where's this going? Where did that all just go? Because it didn't go in the trailer. I just wasted a whole bucket of manure. No wonder you never have enough manure, BP. I could have sworn I was right over the bucket. Usually if it makes the sound, it's going in the trailer. That was interesting. All right, let's try that again, but this time let's get it in the trailer, shall we? I'm going to boom out a little bit and lower the thing a little bit. There we go. I don't know where that last bucket went, but didn't go in here. And that's full. Very good. Bring the boom back in. Park this over here. That should be all we need for this, I hope. I'm guessing it's going to be, though. Turn that off. Jump out of this. Gotta make sure I call Chad first thing in the morning because, like I said, it's a haul from the Kloss service center where they send the guys out, you know. So honestly, if I call him first thing in the morning and he calls the Kloss people, maybe Tuesday. If I'm very lucky, they'll be here on Tuesday. So, yeah. So that means that tractor is going to be down for a few days because I'm really nervous about using it. I'm not so much worried about a wheel falling off. I'm more worried about it kicking out an axle and chewing up a hub and breaking all the suspension and whatnot, because that would be bad, you know. And then that's even more parts I got to buy. So it looks like the Kloss is going to be parked for a few days, which is unfortunate, but unavoidable. And if they can't fix it here, you know, what's going to happen is they're going to come out, they're going to take a look at it, they're going to see what they need to do to it, and then they're going to make a determination on whether they bring it back to their main facility or whether they fix it here. You know, they get the parts shipped out to them and they fix it here. Either way, it's going to be a couple of days. So, okay. Well, not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I don't want to waste it by putting it down where I've already put it, but I just wanted to get that little bit right there. So, okay. You know what I might do? Since we're running into 31 minutes here, and again, you know, video length, whatever, but I do, you know, it is, as you can see, it's 3:30 in the afternoon here in the real world, and I have things I have to do. I've done a lot of recording today, so what I might do is make a part 2 of this. Part 1, obviously, we will have, you know, subsoiled and spread the manure and everything. In part 2, we'll be over here plowing it, and maybe cultivating it, and maybe seeding. We'll see. And we'll just keep rolling on through this day until everything that needs to be done in this day is done, and then we'll move on to the next day. And I want to thank all you guys for all your feedback, for all your, you know, everybody said, hey, man, you know, record it the way you want to record it. We'll watch it anyway, or, yeah, I like this format and all that. Thank you so very much. You know, that means a lot to me. I really sort of depend on you guys' you know, you guys' feedback and constructive criticism and everything else, you know. If you don't like something, tell me. If you like it, tell me, you know. I can take it either way, so. For me, this is a better system in the sense that it will slow everything down, and I won't be rushing through days, you know, here in Old Ridge, and we can extend the life of this series because I enjoy it just as much as you guys do, believe me, and I don't want to stop it either. So, okay, this will be the last pass I have to make up into this narrow bit now, and hopefully I have enough to finish off the bottom. And that will be that. Oh, why did you make this turn, BP? Oh, that's rough. Luckily, that face of that boulder right there is pretty flat, so I could drive over it, but still not probably the best thing in the world. Okay. I think I might just have enough to finish this. Looks good on the meadow though, doesn't it? You know, I would spread manure. I would spread solid manure in the meadows more often, but it doesn't do any good. You know, the way soil mod works, you have to plow it in or cultivate it in. So, you know, me spreading it on here would just be a cosmetic thing. You know, it wouldn't actually serve any function. But since I'm going to plow this in, and I wonder too if the grass that's already on here is going to act as a fertilizer. Is it going to be a green fertilizer, you know, according to soil mod? Is that going to give me an N boost too? Am I going to come back to this field and the N's going to be 30? Which, you know, to be honest, I'm okay with. I am fully okay with that. Considering I have no N in these meadows whatsoever now. So, and in fact, I'm going to use this last little bit. There we go. There we go. So that's that. You know what? I like that so much. I've already taken a thumbnail, but I like this one better. So we're going to take this as a thumbnail. As soon as I zoom down a little bit. Zoom, zoom, zoom. My mouse wheel is dying, and it's like it doesn't want to work. So there we go. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. In the next episode, we'll be plowing this, talking some more and whatnot, and just slowing everything down and having fun. As always, let me know what you think about anything, about the format, about the map, about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, anything like that. Anything you guys want to talk about, you're more than welcome to leave in the comments. Hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Steam, however you want to do it. If I don't get right back to you, please don't take it personal. I'm just busy, and sometimes I'm not physically at the computer. As always, thank you for being my friends. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscriptions. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see. Lots of stuff to watch. Lots more coming. Obviously, I put out a video pretty much every day. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's the best way of being notified of when I make a video, which, like I just said, is pretty much every day. Also, you can join our little community here of good people who will, answer questions, help you out as much as they can, be friendly, and have fun. And as always, guys, thanks so much for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.